got the BeagleMan.
All right now.
And we got Catfish. Hope everybody doing okay. Live action. We're doing the video early. It's Thursday, but this weekend we're gonna be tied up running the road and stuff. So I figured that at least we can keep the videos going. We had a few questions come out, and one of the questions was geared to the BeagleMan. We got Danny up in Maryland. If y'all ever see Danny's real big on YouTube as far as giving out positive feedback on the videos. He watched Bubba, he watched Hunting with the Hallaways, and many other guys, James and Burgall. He watched everybody. Danny up in Maryland, but he wanted to know from the BeagleMan, what was your biggest deer that you have killed, and how many deer have you killed?
Okay, I'll tell all of you all. Years ago when I was younger, when I was about 14 years old, I got into deer hunting along with my cousins. It was a big family called the Shepherdsons in Virginia. They were all my cousins, and they were big-time deer hunters. And matter of fact, they had the first club down there called Knockdown, down in Virginia years ago. I was like I said, when I was 14 years old, and they hunted every Saturday, and I mean they really brought some deer in, but they had long-legged Walker hounds. And I'm gonna tell you guys, the Shepherdsons were the first ones that I know, my family, they had Walker hounds crossed with pointer bird dogs. And I mean, they would fly behind a deer. When that deer crossed the road, those dogs weren't but a minute or two behind the deer. I mean, they would roll. A lot of them didn't have big voices, but you could hear them good enough to know that the deer was coming your way. All right, and the biggest deer that I killed in Virginia was an 8-pointer, and I'll tell y'all, it was on a Saturday morning, around about 10 o'clock in the morning. All of the guys, I guess it was about 25 or 30 of us out there, and I heard the dogs. We had a dog named Red in the crowd, a big old red-bone hound, and you could hear him. He had a real loud mouth in the pack of dogs. They were running 5 dogs in that pack. But old Red let you know exactly what it was at. And Red was whooping them deer right on to me. And when I had a 30-30 rifle. Now check this out, guys. When I was 15 years old, 14 years old, that rifle only cost $75. My uncle bought it for me down in the Western Auto in Keysville, Virginia. It cost $75, and it had a scope on it. And it was a 30-30 bolt action. It held 3. It held 1 in the chamber and 3 in the clip. All right. The dogs brought the deer on out. I was on the other side of the road, looking across the highway. I was standing beside a big oak tree. The deer came out, and the deer took his time coming across the ditch, and I shot. For the first time I ever shot at a deer with a rifle. And so happened I hit the deer went down, but the deer got back up from the ditch and went back down through the woods where he came from. Well, the other guys, they found out that I had hit the deer. The deer was limping when he went down through the woods, and come to find out, the deer went down and got in the watershed. Those dogs ran that deer, they were right on him. And they ran him all the way back to a watershed, but a beaver dam was right down there, not too far from the watershed. And what happened was, the deer went inside the beaver dam. He went over in that water in the beaver dam, and old Red, that dog, that red-bone hound I was telling you about, him and another dog, one of the Walker hounds, Clement them had, went in the beaver dam, and they had actually chewed on his back leg while he was in the water, and he would never come out that water. And one of the guys hunting with us, and I won't call his name, but one of the guys that was hunting with us, he shot the deer in the beaver dam with his pistol, and But anyway, they dragged the deer out. The deer was an 8-point buck, and he wasn't real big. I guess the deer weighed probably maybe 145, 50 pounds. And back then, that was pretty good size for a deer. And but let me tell you, when they brought that deer out and they dragged him up to the road, and where they went there in the woods and got him with a truck. And they showed me that deer, man. I was the happiest man in the world. I was the happiest 14-year-old you ever seen that had killed a deer with my first rifle that they had, and my uncle and them had bought me. And but let me tell you, all the guys, they pat me on my back and were talking trash. Man, they were talking good about me. Old Robert. Back then, they said, old Robert Henry, boy, he put something on that deer. And man, I was happy as I don't know what. And so I stayed deer hunting with them for a good while until I went to the Army. And I'll tell you guys, I only killed about 10 deer in my whole life. And most of them were does that I killed. Won't tell no story. I think I killed about maybe 3, maybe 4 bucks. I do know a couple of spikes that I shot, and I remember a 6-pointer that I shot, and the rest of them were does. That's about the honest truth. The rest of them were does. And then later on, I got into rabbit hunting, and I got out of deer hunting. And once I got hooked on rabbit dogs, I had my first rabbit dogs, and after that, I didn't want to deer hunt no more. And I rabbit hunted from then on. All right.
Live action. I love them stories like that. It's a little bit more exciting than my first deer I shot with Eagle Eye Hunting Club in Virginia. I don't know, I might have been 13, 14 years old. Dad had sent me hunting with my uncle Bounty Hunter, and he put me on the drive with some dogs, and it was in the power line in Charlotte Courthouse, and I could hear the dogs. I could hear the dogs coming out of a cutover, and they were bringing it. I think it might have been a little spiked buck or something like that, and I could see that buck coming to the power line through the woods. And me being excited, I didn't even wait till he got to the power line. As soon as I could see him good enough, I think I had an 870 then. I was shucking that gun, letting that deer roll. When that deer crossed the power line, I was steady putting it to him. And when he got over the power line, I went ahead and reloaded. And what I did is waited for the dogs. I knew I hit the deer, but the deer was steady getting it. And the dogs, what I did when the dogs crossed the power line, I went on ahead and followed the dogs down into the woods, and I could see the deer, I don't know, probably about 30, 40 yards in front of the dogs on the ground down there. And man, I was happy as I don't know what too. And of course, Bounty Hunter, he was happy too as well. So. And I done shot many deer. I think you shot more deer than we done shot at least 5 deer in the club.
That's right, in the club.
Yeah, I mean we done shot. I think you done shot more deer than
probably about 16 or 17 deer.
We did.
Because I forgot that I was hunting with catfish and in Virginia, and we killed some deer in Virginia.
And you and Pumpkin, y'all done killed.
We killed 2 that day.
Was 2 or 3 one day?
Yeah.
So I think he done killed more deer than he think, but he is a rabbit dog man. He's a rabbit hunter. A lot of guys ask about you in deer hunting, or even Danny said, you know, I don't see your dad in a whole lot of deer hunting videos. He is a rabbit hunter, guys. Days when I'm at work or whatever, he's rabbit hunting.
That's right.
He's running dogs, rabbit hunting.
That's right.
Live action.
And guys, let me tell you something real quick before we get into anything else. That deer, that 8-point buck that I shot that day, you all won't believe this. When that deer come across the ditch, I shot with that 30-30 rifle, and I shot that deer, both of his knees. I blew both of his kneecaps off, and his legs were just hanging. But I didn't know that until after they got him from the beaver dam. Both of his legs were shot almost clean off, and he ran on nothing but his nubs, from his kneecaps up. That's what he ran on, and I didn't know that until Berlin and them got him out of the beaver dam. Then and everybody was telling me that I had blown his kneecaps off, and I mean that was a big laugh for me because I didn't know. And but it's something else how strong a deer is. And he ran. I know he ran 300 yards down to that beaver dam before he went in that beaver dam. And when them dogs went in there and got him, them dogs was eating on him. And but Berlin finished him off with a pistol. And they got him out of there for me. So that's the end of my deer hunting. But I have been deer hunting with catfish, and I've killed some deer, and I did kill some deer in Virginia a few years ago with some of my friends, and I had forgot all about it. I was thinking when I first started talking about this thing on video a minute ago, I was thinking about the old days. I was only thinking about the old days when we had the old hunting club in Virginia, and back then we used to have 50 or 60 dogs just laying around the yard, and our house was right there from the highway, and you couldn't go down that highway because you'd have about 20-some dogs coming out to the road coming out. That was on back in the day, and because we left all our dogs out, our dogs just roamed free, and most of them broke this out on deer if they were deer hounds, and then some were coon dogs. And that's what they did.
Come over here, Faye. Come over here, girl.
But guys, I will tell y'all, I'm not a big time deer hunter. I love going deer hunting when catfish go. So he'll have a partner out there. We always say we like to double team the other guys. Tell my granddaughter, guys. Say hey, Faye. Tell her hey.
Say hey.
Hey. All right.
Say tell Fawn. Say hey, Fawn.
Hey, Fawn.
Say live action.
Live action.
All right.
You the nature girl? All right. So look, guys, I'm not gonna call the guy's name out on YouTube, and this was a couple years ago. He had asked me about putting up videos and about getting people to look at the videos, and you know, why wasn't people looking at the videos or whatever. What I will say is, over time, you'll get better with the videos, and you'll get better equipment with the videos, and you'll get an audience that want to see you. I don't just watch hunting videos. I watch a lot of camping and bushcraft videos too, and fishing videos.
Yeah.
Old Dewey up there in Virginia. I watch a lot of different videos, workout videos. I work out, so but you know, go on ahead and don't be afraid to post your videos up. Even if you don't have a big audience, it don't matter. Post it, and especially with hunting. The hunting community on YouTube is awesome. We are a big family, and I like the positive motivation and the positive question and answers, and even with me bow hunting and crossbow hunting, getting into it new, people would put positive stuff up there, and I enjoy that, right? Very little negative at all, right? Because we don't even roll like that.
Yeah.
So you know, people will enjoy any of the videos that you put up, even if you're starting new. Put the videos up, guys. We enjoy it. I watch a lot of the other rabbit hunters that, no lie, they have dynamite dogs, and they put on a good show. They might not have a real big audience, but the little bit of audience they have is faithful, and they enjoy seeing the good videos that's being posted. So I thank all y'all for just being positive, for giving positive feedback, for sharing your videos, even if it ain't got nothing to do with even rabbit hunting or deer hunting.
Yeah.
Post the videos up, guys, and people will enjoy it.
And guys, what you do, like Catfish and I, we sworn with these videos to tell nothing but the truth. We don't tell no stories or anything that's wrong. We all our stories that we tell on the videos and stuff is from experience that we had. And you can't beat that. When you just telling nothing but the truth, nothing can be wrong if you're telling the truth. And that's the best way to go. And guys, as long as you're telling the truth on the videos, everybody should enjoy your videos. And especially from a lot of old experience, a lot of guys like to hear the old school stuff. And they like to hear the new stuff. And I'm one, I like to hear it all. But the old school stuff, man, I could go back way in the day and tell you so many different stories, and stories how we started out rabbit hunting, and I will share that with you real quick. We used to have dogs down in Virginia. We had a long-legged hound named Blondie, and she looked like a white lamb. But let me tell you something. She was a true rabbit dog, and we put our beagles with that dog. And the first beagles that I ever owned, people, was half coon dog and half beagle. And they were named Bullet and Shotgun. And myself and Country Boy up in Baltimore, his name is Robert James Spencer. My uncle had these dogs, and my grandmother only allowed me to have 2 puppies. And so, Country Boy, back then we called him Clutch, but his real name is Robert James Spencer. We hung out together, and we worked together and everything, so him and I was just like 2 brothers. But that was my cousin. We went down to my uncle's house. He told me, he said, y'all can get some puppies if you want. So we looked at the puppies. The female dog was a little solid white female. And she had about 9 puppies. And there was only 2 black and white ones in that whole litter. All the rest of them were white and brown. And some of them had a little tick in them. But we kept the only 2 black and white ones in the litter. And the black and white ones were 2 males. And we named them Bullet and Shotgun. And Robert James, Country Boy, and we kept them dogs and fed them. And we would get us a rabbit skin, and drag on the ground as soon as them puppies got big enough to run behind that rabbit skin. And we would drag it all across the field, and them 2 puppies would run across the field right behind us. And they even gave them out. I would say they were about right at 3 months old, but we would run with that rabbit skin across the field in the back of the house. And that's how we started training the dogs. And then we would carry them dogs and put them right where we saw rabbits late in the evening. And them puppies, we just kept carrying them. And after a while, they gave a little funny mouth. You hear a little, and they started getting mouth, and they were whimpering. And next thing you know, when they got about 5 months old, man, we had 2 rabbit dogs, man. They were running rabbits on their own. They had started good, but they still needed a little help. And that's where Blondie came in, that long-legged hound. Blondie would come in there, and she would jump them rabbits. But I'm gonna tell y'all, Blondie was fast. But them two dogs that I had, like I told you, they were half beagle and half coon hound. And they grew up to be right at close to 17 inches tall. But let me tell you, they hung in there with Blondie, and ended up being 2 of the best rabbit dogs I ever owned in my life. And I would even say they were better than the dogs I own today. And I guess that's because we stayed in the woods. We stayed in the woods with them all the time. And well, back then there was nothing else to do but go to school and come home and do your little chores and stuff. And after you did your little chores, you were in the woods with your little dogs, and you only had to go in the backyard because you had honeysuckles and briars and stuff back there, the bird briars, and you had rabbits all in your backyard way back then, but not now. Nowadays, there might be a few houses that have rabbits that come up in the yard, but we had a lot of rabbits back then. So that's my story, guys.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this thing up. Tri-City Beagle Boys, this catfish here.
This is BeagleMan.
Thank you for the guys that has pre-ordered shirts. The shirts are coming in. I'm waiting for another order to come in. So if you didn't get your shirt yet, just be on the lookout because shirts are coming. We got more stuff coming, guys. So thank everybody for all your support. Thank you for your love. Live action Tri-City Beagle Boys. We'll see you in the woods. See, bye fun.
Say bye, fun.
Wave at 'em.
Wave at him, baby. All right. Good girl.